Alright, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove noise from your audio. So suppose if you're using a cheap mic, like for example, in the video that I showed you where we were looking at the hierarchy, we were using in one of those sections, we used a cheap lavalier mic. And these cheap mics, like you must have seen in that video, they capture a lot of noise and the audio doesn't look that good. But if you are using that kind of a mic, there is still a way to improve your audio, and that is by editing your audio, and that is by removing the noise in it. So I'm just going to show you how to use this free software called Audacity to just remove the noise from your audio. So that you can just go to Google, type Audacity, just download this is free to use. So I'm just going to open the the audio file, and so this is our audio, and I'm just going to zoom in to this, right? So the waveforms, of course, are representing our audio, and if you just listen to this.
Alright, so this time I'm using this cheap lavalier mic that is just pinned to my shirt. Alright, so this time I'm using...
You can just hear that this audio has a lot of noise, and even when I'm not speaking, that's the best time to observe the noise. So if I just before I start speaking, you can see here that we have this noise here, and if I just were to play this, you'll see how much noise this audio has. So this should almost be silent. It should not be noisy like this. So we can actually remove this. So what you need to do is, the process is very easy. Whenever you're speaking and you're finding these audio waveforms appearing, just look for a pause, like the moment where you're silent, something like this. So if you look at this
shirt here, and
so just after "and," let's say there's going to be a slight pause here. Just this is the noise that our cheap microphone has captured. So what we're going to do is we're just going to select it like this, and then we go to effect here, we go over to noise reduction, and we're just going to click this option saying get noise profile. So you're kind of giving it a sample, so it's just telling us that it's too short. So maybe let's look for a longer pause. I'm just going to zoom in slightly more. I could have actually just gone back the area where I was silent, or I could have also selected that. You don't want to select too big an area also, or you don't want to make, you can select a big area if it's empty, that's fine, but you don't want to select anything in which you were speaking. Otherwise, even that will be removed ultimately when in this noise removal process. You have to select something in which you were not speaking. So let's see this. I think this is fine. Let me just zoom in slightly more. I'm gonna just, I think this is fine. I think it should allow us to do it now. Yes, so now we have been able to select this noise profile, and now what you do is you just select. I'm just going to zoom out so that you see this. I'm just going to click somewhere here on this part, so it's going to select everything, right? So it's like the Control A kind of a thing. So it's just going to select everything, and then once it has selected everything, what you do is you have already selected that noise profile. You just again click on effect, and then again just click on noise reduction, and this time just click on OK. So it's just going to apply and reduce from that sample. It's just going to reduce it throughout this audio form. So you'll actually see this shrink a bit because it's going to reduce that noise. So just keep an eye on the waveform when I click on OK. And you can see that it's just shrunk. And now if I were to zoom into this area where we had removed, you can see now this does not have noise. So if I were to just play this, you can see that the noise is almost gone. And now if I were to play back the audio, this will sound much better. So just listen to this.
Alright, so this time I'm using this cheap lavalier mic that is just pinned to my shirt here.
Right.
Alright, so this time
so you can see that this sounds much better as opposed to if I were to just undo noise reduction and make you hear the original.
Alright, so this time I'm using this cheap lavalier mic that is just pinned to my...
So you can see that...
Alright, so this time
we were able to reduce the noise and get a much better result.
This cheap lavalier mic that is...
using this free software. So it's... and if you're using a cheap mic and you're finding that it captures a lot of noise, oftentimes you might have to go through this process a lot. Of course, there are other things that you have to do. For example, make sure the environment that you're shooting in doesn't give you an opportunity to get too much noise. For example, switch off the fans if you can, make it as quiet as possible. But I know that sometimes it's not possible, so this is something that you might have to do. If you have an expensive mic, on the other hand, since they don't capture too much noise in the first place, this process is usually not required. So that's another advantage of just investing in a good microphone. But I just thought I'd show you how to remove noise. I hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.